Hi everyone, so yesterday I had this package arrive unexpectedly yesterday, right after I finished filming and editing my figure collection. I wasn't actually expecting this to come until maybe next week, but what this is I ordered some used complete in box games from PNP Games online. So they are a Canadian retailer and they sell new and used games, and they do also ship to the US and other countries as well. So I was interested in their used complete in box section where they had some original DS, 3DS, and PS Vita games for sale. So I ended up picking up 5, and they only used stock images on their website, so I don't really know how good the condition is on these, but I will share the price I paid, and while they're not super great deals like you could find out in the wild sometimes, I think for an online retailer these were pretty reasonable. So I wanted to try them out and see how it goes. What happened was I ordered this last Friday, so it did take about a week to arrive to me here in the US. And what they did was, I think they have multiple locations throughout Canada, or I'm not really totally sure where they're located throughout Canada, but from my understanding is they consolidate all the games into a package and then they drive across the border to North Dakota to then ship through USPS for people who ordered in the US. So looking inside the box, everything's protected by paper, and you can see my first game. So yeah, everything I think fit in here nicely, and oh wow, interesting. So I will talk about that shortly, but start with my first game here was Steins Gate for the PS Vita, and I loved the anime for this, and I've been on a bit of a sci-fi kick, so I wanted to test this out and see how it is. So looking this over, I'll have some close-ups so you guys could also see what this looks like, but everything looks to be in good condition. And I'll have the price that was on the invoice up here as well. And then my second game here is Kirby Triple Deluxe, and when I bought this, the website didn't say it was going to be the French-Canadian version, so in my book that's kind of a strike against them a bit, because I was sort of hoping to get the standard North American version for that. And then the other 3DS game I picked up was Kid Icarus Uprising, and on the website it did not indicate it was the UAE version. And when it said a complete in box, I didn't really realize it would be with the cardboard box, so that is a bonus. I just was really hoping just at least for the standard version of this game, but it is what it is. And I think for the price I paid it was okay. And then the last two games are two Nintendo DS games. And I actually totally skipped over the Nintendo DS era, so I've been slowly trying to get a few of those titles. The first one is this Professor Layton game and the Diabolical Box. And then I also got Professor Layton in the Unwound Future here. So I'm very excited to try these out. So I've been debating whether or not I should wait to get the Curious Village before diving into the Layton series, or if it's just okay to pick up anywhere. So I might hold off playing these two games for now, so I could get the first one, but I might try, I think the Diabolical Box is the second game, or it might be the Unwound Future. I would have to double check the release dates on that. But the condition on both of these are actually pretty good. So no complaints there, and they both come with the manual, which is another plus. So here's a closer look at Steins Gate. Everything looks really nice. There's no weird indents or anything. This does have a sticker here, but it should be, I think, pretty simple to take off with some glue gun. And then the case looks nice inside as well. And then we have Kirby Triple Deluxe, and it all looks very nice and clean. And again, it has a little sticker here, but it should be easy to remove with glue gun. And then it has the original 3DS case, as well as some of the paperwork there. And the cart's a little bit dirty, but it doesn't look too bad. How close? Then here's the box for Kid Icarus Uprising. And the condition of the box is actually pretty good. I'm just still a little annoyed that I got the world version. And let's see if this actually comes with the stand. It looks like it does, so that's pretty cool too. So let's look at that stand first. It's still in the original plastic and everything, so I'm not going to mess with that. Here's the game. Looks pretty good. Oh, and then another surprise is that it does come with the AI cards unopened, so that's a nice bonus as well. And then it comes with all the paperwork. That's what the manual looks like. Pretty cool. And the cart looks pretty good too. And then the Professor Layton games. Looks nice and clean. And it looks nice inside as well. And it's good to have the manual. When games used to have nice thick manuals. Oh, and full color. All pretty cool. And I think one of the reasons why I was hesitant to buy some of these DS games is because there's just so many fakes out there. I've been a little worried to bite the bullet on some of them. But yeah, everything looks nice here. And then finally, we have the Unwound Future. This too has nice paperwork. And this looks nice and clean as well. So now for my overall thoughts. So I did like how easy it was to navigate on their website and how each system had a complete in-box use section. So it's really easy to just narrow down your choices. One of the things I was disappointed with was they didn't really indicate if the game they're selling, what version it was. So for example, this Kid Icarus Uprising game, they didn't indicate that it was a UAE copy when I was on their website. I did read the description really carefully before buying, so I think that's kind of a mark off of this, especially for the 3DS games, if you are concerned about getting a World Edition or not. As well as they didn't indicate that this was the French-Canadian version for Kirby Triple Deluxe. That's not, I think, as bad as, say, giving a World Edition instead of the Standard Edition, but it was still a little disappointing. So I guess one of the unknowns is whether or not they would actually send over different editions for different system games. For example, for the PS Vita, there's not really any other North American editions other than the ESRB one. But because this is a region-free system, I'm not sure if they would send over like a PEGI version without really telling you. So that's just something I think to keep in mind. As well as if you're looking for example, like PS4 games, they might send you one of the PlayStation Hits versions instead of the Standard Edition, but I would say it's kind of a gamble whether or not that might be the case or not. So for me, I think I would consider buying from them again, but I'll just limit to what systems I would consider, especially in their used section. And when it comes to comparing Video Games Plus to PNP Games, who's also a Canadian online retailer, I'm gonna have to give it to Video Games Plus. I've just had a lot better experience using them, and I feel like they're a bit more upfront with what version they're sending you. They don't offer used games, they only sell new games online. So that is something to take into consideration, but yeah, I've just had a better experience, and they do offer free shipping unlike PNP Games. I think for shipping, for 5 games, it was $10 Canadian. And then also the other thing to compare is payment. So PNP Games, I think, only does PayPal, whereas Video Games Plus offers PayPal as well as credit cards. The Canadian to US dollar conversion rate on PayPal is a bit more expensive than my credit card. So I guess in summary, Video Games Plus ends up being a bit cheaper for me than PNP Games. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little haul video, and let me know if you've used PNP Games before, especially their used complete in box section for other systems or the 3DS. Be very curious to know what your experience was like, and if you happen to experience something similar to me. But that's it for this video, and until next time, bye guys.